So my name's Mick. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my personal battles with anxiety, depression. So yeah, just a little bit of background. I had a good childhood. I was raised well. Come from a working class background, but by all means didn't face any hardships. Come from separated parents, but it didn't really have an effect on me. I had a good childhood, as I said. Growing up through school, I had dyslexia, but dyslexia wasn't really supported when I was at school. Not to the extent it is today, anyway. And throughout school, I was probably classed as a naughty kid. For a long time, that's what I thought I were, a naughty child. But as I've got older, I've realised most of that was down to frustration, that I couldn't do what the other kids were doing. And in the end, I ended up leaving school with nothing, no qualification, nothing. Anyway, after school, I started doing different things, working. I've always worked. I've always believed in working. I've always been a hard worker. That's one thing I do pride myself on. Yeah, so anyway, done various things, working in factories. I was an electrician's mate for a long time, working with electricians. I wasn't qualified to sign any work off, but I did all the same jobs that an electrician would do. Worked as an electrician for a lot of years. But just didn't enjoy the work, so I decided to go to college and do something that I enjoyed. So I took up photography, because that's something I'd always enjoyed doing. Through college, led me on to university, where I ended up getting a first class degree in photography. Ended up getting a teaching degree, and most recently I got a master's degree. So achieving things I never ever thought I'd achieve, However, despite doing things that I never thought I'd do, from time to time I still feel I'm not good enough. I still feel like I don't give enough, or I don't get enough. I don't know what it is, to be honest. Just sometimes feel like no matter what I do, it's not good enough. No matter how hard I try. I like to think that I'm somebody that gives a lot. I'm always trying to help people. I'm always trying to, do things to help others. Better other people's lives, better my own life. I've got a wife and children. And everything I do is for them. Everything. No matter what, everything I do is for them. But again, same thing. Sometimes I just feel like I'm not good enough, and like no matter what I do, it's not good enough for them. And that's not coming from them. That's my own mind. I know that my children appreciate me and couldn't be without me. I know that my wife loves me. I know that she appreciates everything I do. But for some reason, in my own head, it's never enough. No matter how hard I try, I just don't feel good enough sometimes. But that's my own head. So, as I've said, childhood, pretty good. Teenage years, early teenage years, again, as I said before, different things, good and bad. But as I got to my mid to late teens, a couple events have happened in my life from my mid to late teens and early 20s. Two major events, that I'm not going to go into detail about, but really had a massive impact on my mental health and my life as a whole, really. Even now, after all these years, these events started when I was about 18. I'm now 34, and they still have an impact now. I've learnt to deal with them a lot better, but still there at the back of your mind. And these two events, they're the main things that have really impacted me. So it's been quite a few years now since I was what you would call diagnosed with depression, and it's one of those. It's an odd thing to admit, especially being male. For a long time, luckily my mindset's starting to change now, but for a long time I thought, I'm a man, I have to man up, I have to be a man. Need to stop letting things get on top of you, just man up, get on with it. As I say, luckily my mindset's starting to change now. It's okay to not feel okay, as the new famous slogan says, and it is true, it's powerful. For a long time, and even in some circumstances now, I don't talk about things, I bury them, and it's not good. It's not good, because you're just left with it in your own head. You need to speak. If you ever feel down, if you ever feel fed up, if you ever feel you're not good enough, you need to speak, you need to tell people, and you need to get the help that you need. The thing is, with mental health, we all have mental health, all of us, whether it be good or bad, and if you're fortunate enough never to have to face, any negative mental health, then I'd love to be in your shoes. But I don't know what the statistics are, but I'd imagine a lot of people suffer some negative health within their lifetime, and you have to talk. That's the one thing that's going to help you, is talking about it. There's medications out there that help. I know, because I take some medication for depression, and they do help. Might not be for everybody, but they do help. But the one thing I know more than anything is talking helps. Talking really helps. Don't be afraid to talk. Keep your mind active. Don't be alone with your thoughts. That's the one thing I find hard when I've got too much time to think. So what I do now, I constantly try and keep my mind active. I do various things. Get out, socialise more. Socialising's a massive thing. And I know, like through the pandemic and things, that was difficult. But even if it's online, team meetings, whatever, just get a group of friends together. We all lead very busy lifestyles in this day and age, and I don't think we spend enough time socialising. So for me, massive thing is, do a bit of sport, join a club, just do whatever you have to do, just to keep your mind occupied. My worst trait is sitting with my own thoughts, and that's when things get on top of me, because I overthink things, and overthinking things is the worst thing you can do, and it's so easily done. But yeah, I want this message to be for everybody, for anybody, but especially, because this campaign is about male suicide awareness, especially for men. It takes more of a man to speak up than to keep quiet. Something I didn't. Well, I used to think I had to man up, and now I've realised that to man up is actually to, you know, talk and, you know, express my feelings, tell people what I'm thinking, you know. Burying your feelings and hiding away from issues is not being a man. Definitely not.